Bullish anticipation setups for today. So I have 7 setups which I am monitoring for today. I started with a larger list of setups, but like this is the final list which I am actually monitoring. And to find these setups, obviously the first thing which we look for is a stock with an established momentum. This stock has an established momentum, and then it is going sideways. So let's look at some of these setups. You have Bank of California, which is like, and I made a big move going sideways. Okay, you have KLIC, which is basically a earnings breakout, after that going sideways. IPGP, similar kind of a thing, and you'll also find that semiconductor sector is doing well also. Then you have Children's Place, which had a recent high volume breakout on earnings. Very nice setup here. BG, this is the one setup which is I'm basically like uh, monitoring and was contemplating entering in anticipation yesterday. Didn't enter, but like, this is the kind of setup which is like, if you enter and you have a very close stop, if it works, it can quickly make you money. Plus it's liquid, fairly liquid, 1.3 million shares traded. But see, first leg very linear, very compact, sideways bull flag. This is a bull flag kind of a situation, and if it breaks out, you're looking at 85 to 90 as possible thing. Allergen, which I've been monitoring for some time, and Amazon. Okay, this is another one of those stock which is like, say, you can look at it as a longer term setup also. Like, say, if you look at it on a weekly basis also, it's setting up nicely. If it breaks, then it can make a big move. The problem in a market like today is that a lot of these things can have gap up that creates complications, but most of these setups look fairly decent. And these are the one which I am monitoring. So this is only like 7 setups. My larger list had a much larger set of candidates. Like I had 32 stocks which I had shortlisted, but from that, ultimately this one which I am going to be like really monitoring is going to be this. Now obviously on these I would look at the news. Is there earnings? Is there any news upgrades, downgrade? Because that sometimes can trigger a move on these, either side, like they can go down or up. And basically now in terms of operationally, like out of these, the stocks which I am most bullish on, like say something like Bungie. Okay, I already have it put it into my IB interface, and I already have an order ready to buy it at various levels. So that's how operationally, if you work out, whole point of doing anticipation is that the pre-work can get you into an anticipation setup as it is breaking out and allow you to put a very close stop. And then if it works, then you end up with a very low risk, or sometimes almost zero risk. And then if a stock makes even 5%, 10%, or 8% move, you're still in a better position with this. Similarly, Amazon, I already have an order in place, uh, multiple orders in place as to if it triggers, or if it starts going up. Obviously it has been up in pre-market, so that's creating some sort of a little bit of a problem. But like, uh, once you do the work of finding setups, the next step is also equally important, which is basically shortlisting 4 or 5 stocks out of that. The one which I'm really looking at today are only like this: Bungie, Amazon. Uh, these are all like there, but like something triggers out of these two is what I'll be looking at, even this allergen. So these are the three which I'm looking at basically at the moment. The rest of them, like, and if nothing triggers out of that in the first 20 minutes, 30 minutes, then I'll start looking at rest of them. And in addition to that, I also look at 4% breakout. So this is really how you do your homework, and then try and identify 3 or 4 good setups. And if something works out of that, then you have a very low risk entry. So that's the whole point of doing anticipation.